Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Andrew at Microphonic Designs here at PSJA Memorial High School down in the PSJA area, and this is installation number 2 of 4 for my week in the area down here. And today has been another super long one, very productive day, and I'm so thankful that I had the opportunity to come down and help this team of directors implement all this new stuff. Line array units, SQ mixer, all these new goodies into their setup, because it is really awesome. Shout out to the district and the admin people that were able to make not only the new equipment happen, but my visit down here this week also happen, because this is a lot of stuff to put together. And by the way, if you yourself are looking for help with audio for your far ensemble, feel free to reach out. You can hit me up at microphonicdesigns.com/contact. I've got a form you can fill out. You can book a call with me. Please do so if you find the stuff that we're going to talk about today helpful, and if you would like help yourself. So anyhow, that is my quick little sales pitch and reminder that MD, Microphonic Designs, is a retailer for all this stuff. So again, if there's anything in the walkthrough that you see today that you think, oh man, that'd be super cool to have, or we'd like to upgrade to that, get in touch. I can help out. So speaking of that stuff, let's start as we usually do with a bit of the lay of the land. We've got, let me head around here, as you can probably see, 4 marimbas. We've got marimba 4 here, 3, 2, and 1. So the marimbas are all together, kind of focused over on side 2. We've got 3 vibraphones over that way, over on side 1. We also have 2 synthesizers, which again are going to be 2 controllers plugged into 1 computer. So we're going to have just a single pair, a left and right output for both synth parts. So all of the electronic balancing that they're going to do is going to have to be done in the computer. And I found out today that this group is also working with my good buddy Kent Summerer, and so they're going to be using Cubase and Contact and all that good stuff for their electronics parts and their synth parts. And then we also have, not pictured here today, 2 sideline soloist microphones that are just going to, I think they're going to go over on side 1 is what they said. But they picked up a pair of the AKG P220 condenser microphones. I like those a lot for soloist situations because they come with a hard case. So for example, with this group, they don't have any rack drawers just yet. That's not something that they have. And so I wanted to make sure that they had that hard case, that hard shell case that comes with the P220 to store those microphones in whenever they're not being used, and of course for travel and everything like that. So the P220, really great option for soloist mic situations because of that hard case. The mixer here, again, is an SQ6, and this one I actually built from scratch. This, like, we peeled off the you know, screen protector plastic and all that stuff today, and it was a blank slate when I turned it on for the first time today, which was actually a little easier. That helped me figure things out a little bit more. So we've got our 8 channels for marimbas, marimba 1 high and low, marimba 2 high and low, and so forth. We've got our 3 vibe channels here. This one is blank so that we don't get confused. This is our stereo channel for synthesizers. You can't really see it because of the contrast there, but yeah, there you go, synths. And then we've got our soloist mics 1 and 2. And I'm just now realizing actually we need to add something here that we did earlier. And so I'll kind of show you how to do this. Let me turn the flashlight off so that it's not going crazy here. So on this mixer, every layer is essentially a custom layer, which is super cool. So what we can do is we're going to add an SP404 Mark II onto the synth cart here for some extra support samples and things like that. And I did not know that until like at the end of the day, just a little while ago. So I did not account for that in the planning, but this board is super flexible. So they're going to grab a pair of balanced 1/4 inch to XLR cables, and we've made room so that the SP404 can get plugged in to inputs, I think it was 17 and 18 on the back. And so check this out. So it's like, okay, where is our 404 channel here? Well, we can add it in. So we can go into the setup menu here, and I've clicked on this tab here that says Surface, and the bottom row represents all the stuff we have here on the fader banks. And so I can scroll over and right here we have IP1718, and I'm going to drag this into the slot between the synths and the solo. So now we see right here it says, well, you can't really see it. It says IP1718. So that basically means input 17 and 18. And it's in between the other ones, which we have just a one-to-one with the stage box over there. So what we can do now is come in here to processing. We can click the thing up top, enter channel name SP dash, it's 404. Boom, if I could hit the right button. And I'll label it the same baby blue color that I did for the synths, and then we hit apply, and there we go. So now we have this channel here that reads, if I could get it to focus, goodness, it reads SP404. That probably looked terrible, sorry for the motion sickness. And then we need to go into scenes, store, yes. And this channel, 17 and 18, our SP404 channel here, should be fed from local inputs 17 and 18, which is what that says there, which is perfect. Everything else is fed from the S-Link, which again is coming from the stage box in the synth cart. We'll look at that in a minute. So that's how easy it is to just add in, oh, we needed to add a pair of channels for SP404. Easy. And the reason that channels 17 and 18 were already linked together is because I came in here to the setup menu, and I went over here to mixer config, and you'll see the first thing here is input stereo, and I was able to just hit the stereo link button for channels 17 and 18. Super easy to do. And this whole like custom layer thing for like every layer, A, B, C, D, E, and F, every one of these can be customized in this way. So a lot of really cool flexibility that kind of took some time yesterday for me to wrap my head around, and today I started to understand the workflow of how powerful this is. And you'll see down here, I've removed the channels from here so that there's, you know, we're not going to accidentally move anything. And then we've got our marimbas DCA, our vibraphone DCA, and in this case, for this group, we're running the main stack, so our arrays and our subs, off of the main left-right fader. So I do not have a subwoofer send set up for them, and I don't think that that would be the best move for this group. I wanted to keep things as straightforward as I can, and it's going to work fine. If they need a little less sub, then they'll just be able to address that on the subs. And while yes, that sort of gives up the benefits of being able to do that live and on the fly, I really, after having met the staff and talked to them about their band and all of the, you know, factors that go into making those decisions, I've decided that it will be easier for them to just have the main left-right output, and it's going to work great. Part of that decision was met based on some of the infrastructure they have. So they've got this McCormick's Rebel mixer cart, which has treated them pretty well. And it was a step up from what they had before, and is going to perform the basic functions they need it to. Definitely some things that I don't 100% like about this cart. One of the main gripes being that there's really nothing to help with cable management in the back. But again, that's more of a sound guy gripe more than anything. And then the other thing that they don't have is something like an active output panel. So on the side of this cart, McCormick's has built in an XLR outlet, but no power output. So we don't have a PowerCon Gray that we can hook into with a combo cable, which they also did not have. So I actually zip tied a power cable and a 50-foot power cable and a 50-foot XLR together that they can run from the cart over there to the back of the sub. So their long power cord basically goes to the PowerCon Blue right there, and then you'll see I've marked this side 2. This is the white speaker stack. And because we're not doing a separate sub output, I have the crossover output here from the sub going up to the arrays. So there we go. And then it's the same exact thing on the other side. And then inside the cart here, we've got 8 power outlets over there, and then the power conditioner there for the mixer. So yeah, kind of bare bones. There's also no lid for the top, but as long as they have you know, a tarp at the ready, then they'll be able to cover this thing no problem if and when it gets rainy outside. But the SQ series from Allen and Heath, I'm starting to dig it. I'm starting to really like it. I know it's a bit of a higher price point than like our Yamaha TF, but it's pretty sweet and I can understand why. So to my buddy Aaron out there, my right-hand guy here at the company, Aaron Tucker, I get it, bud. I'm starting to understand what the hype is all about. The synth cart here, the main synth hub, is also a McCormick's Rebel cart. And there is our Mac Mini stacked on top of the audio interface, stacked on top of a Blue Yeti battery, which is going to be very helpful for them to be able to power the computer and the stage box up beforehand. So we're going to get some Velcro to stack all that to hold it in place. And then here is another one of those AR2412s that we saw in the last video at PSJA Early College High. And there's a few little odds and ends that this group still needs to get. Like we're going to be placing an order for a few of the 1/4" to XLR male cables to go from the audio interface into here and to go from the SP404 into the mixer over there. And normally, you know, I would be able to pull them out of inventory and just use them today, but I didn't have any. I have a whole freaking bag of pig hog cables and didn't have any of those today. So they're just gonna get it ordered. And then we're also going to make sure they get ether con cables to go from the D-Snake connector over to the mixer, because we just have a 75-foot Ethernet cable for now. And then a quick look at all the cabling for the keyboards. Y'all know me, I had a mod snake, I tested everything, and all the channels are working great. So we've just got a standard D'Addario modular snake coming down to the end of Marimba 2. And one of the pro tips I have, if you've been around the channel, you know this, the way to go about making this easy for the students is to color code only one side, because the connector has a certain shape to it. And so if you color code only one side, like the matching sides, it should be that much easier for them to plug these things in. And then, as always, the way that this cabling works is they are daisy chained, and everything just goes into that modular snake. So the cables down here, remember before, come in this way. They connect here to Marimba 3. Here are the cables for Marimba 3. They join the cables for Marimba 4. Everything comes over this way. And then here we have the yellow and blue double stripes and single stripes for all of those cables connected to the end of Marimba 2 here. And then the cables from Marimba 1 come this way. They connect here, and then they join the cables from Marimba 2, just like that. And I had a bunch of these bungees from the setup that I did. Where was that? I can't remember where it was. There was a setup in one of the earlier videos from this month where I bought a pack of these bungees, and they came in handy today because they did not have shock mounts for their little pencil condensers. So I just hooked it up. I just used the bungees that I had and went ahead and hung everything so that they could get that good sound. And for the vibraphones, it's the same idea, except instead of a modular snake, I just zip tied together 3 10 or 15 foot cables and made my own little homemade snake to go from the in-between here, between vibes 2 and 3, straight back to the digital snake. So again, the cables for the vibes, they come in this way, and then they join that snake that goes straight back to the stage box. And I also have prepared a set of cables here at the back of the synth cart right here to receive signal from the soloist mics so that they're not having to plug into the front of the super expensive digital snake. So again, everything just comes in right there. So that's it. That's a really good look at the setup here at PSJA Memorial. Again, I have opted for them to not use center fills, so they do have center fills, but we're not going to use them this year because look, the goal for this season for them when it comes to audio stuff is to have a successful season where they're able to roll this new awesome stuff onto the field and off the field and have it work and just develop the workflow. Once we get them a little bit more infrastructure, maybe with some quick connect panels down in here and everything, when it's a little bit easier to connect the speakers and they have proper combo cables, then we'll sort of reconsider using the center fills. But what's cool is that they have them again, just like at the last video, it's a pair of the ART 912As. We're gonna keep these in storage for this year. So that might feel like blasphemy. It might feel like a waste. Why did they get these? Well, they got them because their district was being super generous and super awesome. But again, something like this, I mean, just like with wireless microphones and other cool things, it's a tool that is in their toolbox. And when the time comes and it's a good, like it makes sense to get that tool out of the toolkit and use it, then we'll do that. I mean, like, you know, like I've got a hammer in mine. I can't remember the last time I used this thing, but it's available to me when and if I need it, right? It's the same idea. So just because you have a set of center fill speakers does not mean that you have to use them every single year. I mean, even at Forney High School, we have center fills, but we don't always use them. I think in that case, it's because we didn't have room on the truck, but you get the idea. Just because you have wireless microphones does not mean that you absolutely need to use them every single year. So don't let equipment stuff stress you out just because you have it. Remember to ask yourself, will it benefit me as a director and my band to use this stuff? And in this case, the question is, will using center fills benefit this group? I don't think so. I actually think it would detract from their experience using this stuff, because my whole thought process with all of this is always user experience comes first. Director and student experience comes before the audio stuff. The audio geek inside me, yeah, wants to use the center fills, but again, we've got to put the day-to-day considerations in place first. So that's my little rant about not using the center fills that they do have. If you've got questions about why that's the decision, or you have thoughts about it, leave it down in the comments below. I would love to hear, what would you do in this situation, right, with the infrastructure that we have? Would you opt to use center fills or not? But in this case, we're not going to do it. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking. I'm feeling really good about this setup. I'm actually very proud about how it turned out. And I really hope that the efforts today help this group have a great season. So until next time, y'all, take care. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.